Bitcoin is on fire. Will we see a new all-time high soon? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Whenever you're watching this video, welcome to the Bitcoin family channel. For the newcomers, my name is Didi. In today's video, I have 3 news items. I have 5 amazing charts and I have an inspirational quote to end the video. Again, a 15 to 20 minute video, guys. Let's quickly jump into that epic news first now. Bam! The 70 billion New Jersey state pension fund is buying into Bitcoin through exposure and MicroStrategy, guys. The first New Jersey state pension fund buying into Bitcoin. That is one of the pension funds of all the hundreds of the pension funds worldwide that will start to buy into Bitcoin. Why? Because those pension funds also need to protect their capital against inflation. Also, those pension funds need to have the best performing asset in their portfolio. So worldwide, I see in the future a lot of these pension funds stepping into Bitcoin, as that is the gold of the 21st century, as that is the safest store of value for all of these pension funds. And they need to protect their pension funds, as we have an aging problem. And the aging problem means that a lot of people are getting too old. They all need to receive pension funds, to less young people creating a pension fund, which means you get a huge gap, which means you can't lose any pension funds for the future, because then you can't pay people pension anymore. So to protect their pension fund, they need to invest in the best performing asset that is also the best store of value, that's also digital, and that's Bitcoin, guys. New Jersey State Pension Fund, 17 billion big pension fund stepping into Bitcoin now as well. First news item. Let's jump into the second one. The president of Belarus just pledged that Bitcoin and crypto are very important for their country. They are also gonna open up a Bitcoin reserve strategy for Belarus. That's a big step for Belarus, guys. The president announcing on national television that Bitcoin and crypto are very important for their country. Guys, do you see the picture? The United States, Argentina, Brazil, Australia, Europe, Russia, China, India, all over the world, we see slowly countries adopting more and more to the Bitcoin reserve strategy. Why? Because the biggest economical country of the world, the United States, with the biggest exchanges, the NASDAQ, etc., they are stepping massively into Bitcoin with their president. All those other countries that are depending on the United States, or depending on the debts of the United States, or have debts to the United States, they can only do one thing. They can just follow suit. The only thing they can do is, yes, if you're doing that, we will use Bitcoin as well. You were using gold, we used gold as well. You're using Bitcoin, we're going to use Bitcoin as well, and treat it as a digital gold of the 21st century, and use it as a store of value to protect our country's capital against inflationary measurements, because of the central banks because of the central banks that are printing fiat shitcoins out of thin air. Simple as that. And believe me, that central bank's digital currency, I don't think countries will fall for that trap again. I don't think that countries again want to be completely dependent on a central bank. We learned our lessons. The United States with Trump, they learned their lesson. They are like, fuck off. You fucked us once, you fucked us twice, you're not gonna fuck my ass 3 times. This is done. I'm not gonna have a central bank rule my currency, print it out of thin air, and we need to solve all the issues inside our country. They are not gonna do that anymore. And that is why I think that the central bank digital currency that's gonna be created in Europe is going to be a big failure. That just like the euro has been the biggest failure ever when it comes to monetary policies. Now the central bank digital currency in Europe is going to be a failure as well. Don't hedge your capital that you worked your ass off for in those fiat shitcoins, or in those centralized managed digital currencies. Those euros that will be completely digital and created by a central bank that has been fucking you over for the last decades. Don't store your capital there. Start to store your capital in a completely decentralized, independent asset, Bitcoin. That is the future, guys. That is the past. Don't believe those people anymore, because you see what they have done to our economy in the last decades. Debts, 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 and debts. And who's paying those debts? You are paying those debts, because you need to pay more tax, you need to pay more for your products, your purchasing power is decreasing continuously, and if they can't grab anything anymore from your income, they will start to tax your houses, they will start to tax your driving to your job, they will start to tax whatever it is. Even if you die, they will tax you because they are creating debts. We need to say goodbye to that system and hello to the new world system, Bitcoin, guys. Amazing. Second news item. Let's jump into the third news item. The world's largest sovereign wealth fund has just increased its Bitcoin holdings this year in Q1 with 192%. This Norwegian sovereign wealth fund owns now more than 7,000 Bitcoins. This is the biggest sovereign wealth fund in the world from Norway, now increasing their exposure in Q1 with 192%. That's insane, and I think I was right. I think it's in Q2. I think not Q1, Q2. I think they increased the exposure in Q2 with 192% to more than 7,000 Bitcoins. The biggest sovereign wealth fund of the world, guys. They are increasing their exposure to Bitcoin as well. Guys, I can't get more bullish than this. Does this mean I'm going to say, no, Bitcoin is going to go to 500K, this bull market top? I will share my opinion again in the charts. But that is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if all these huge countries, all these institutional investors, all these pension funds, all these banks, all those groups are starting to buy more and more into Bitcoin, you should follow the money. And if that money that they print out of thin air is flowing into assets like Bitcoin, your money should be flowing in that same Bitcoin asset as well, because they want to push this price up, of course, because they don't want to lose. They want to win. And they have been playing this monetary game already for decades. They know how to play it. And now they start to make their moves also into Bitcoin. You should be in as well. I hope all of you that watch my videos, we are almost at 100,000 subscribers, 4,000 more, I think, or something. Hope you all have been following me already for the last 7 years. Hope you all bought Bitcoin around $3,000, $4,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 when I was preaching and begging you to buy Bitcoin. You're all massively in profit. And yes, in the far future, if you zoom out, you're going to be even in way more profit. But let's talk about that into the charts. Let's jump into the charts, guys. Bam. The first chart for today, guys, 4-hour chart. Good coffee. We got a new coffee machine since yesterday. Finally, we have amazing coffee. We didn't need to buy it ourselves because the house owner didn't want to provide coffee, just like shitty Senseo. Now, if we look into the charts, guys, the 4-hour chart, look, we work into resistance of the 121K. Every time we wick into this line, that green line, it's already for weeks on my chart, that's a resistance, pulling back. Of course, we created a higher low. Look. How do you count this? Bottom is the low, that's a high. This is a higher low, this is a higher high, this is a higher low, this is a higher high, this is a higher low again. So now the thing that we need to try to do is create a higher high and create a new all-time high around 124K and then pull back to this line, 121K, to find support over there. That would be an amazing move, but let's see what will happen this week again. Now, if you look in the weekly chart, then you can see on the weekly chart that we are walking into that resistance area, that very important resistance area there, that green line, the top there, look. Every candle stops at this line. I could do like a horizontal ray, like over here, bam, look there. This line, all the weekly candles are stopped out by that line. Week 1, 7th of July. Week 2, 14th of July. Week 3, 21st July. Week 4, 28th of July. Here, 4th of August, it's week 5. And now week 6 again, week 6, sorry, 6 is a Dutch word for 6. We are again running into that resistance of that line. So that is a very important line that we need to break. And if we break that, believe me, we will go up. We will retest that area again before we move further. Very important. Now, 2 or 3 more charts. Let's quickly do this. I will keep it short for today. Over here, this is the first one. On this chart, you can see the money supply, and the money supply is the thing that we follow with Bitcoin. The blue line is the money supply. and this is the Bitcoin price. We are underperforming now. We can see that the money supply map, the M2 went up massively on the daily. Bitcoin will do the same and will create a top in that area of 160 to 190, maybe 220, somewhere in this area. October, November this year will be the top. I believe this is gonna happen, but I've shared this chart already many times. So next chart, whoopa, this one. On this one, we can see something very interesting as well, guys. On this one, you can see that every time in September, in the last couple of bull markets, we did have this small pullback. Look, here we went up from July to August, September, pullback, after September, October, November, December, bam, market top. Up in July, August, September, pullback. Again, bam, after September, bull market top. 2021, look, up in July, August, small September pullback, and again, a market cycle top in November, guys. So if you ask me, of course, I have a personal opinion. Of course, my gut feeling tells me something. But if I look at DA, if I look at the charts, at the data that we have, all the Bitcoin data, we will go up in July and August, exactly what we're doing. I believe we can even go to 130,000 US dollar in August. It's just one more 10% push or 8% push and we are 130K. And then in September, we should again have a small correction, a pullback, before we go towards the end of September, beginning of October, and maybe even into November to a new bull market cycle top. And after that, a 12-month bear market, guys. And I believe that bear market will be above 60K, the bear market bottom, but we will get back to that later. Now, last chart for today is this one. If you look at this chart, you can see how the cycles have performed and how this cycle should perform if you compare them to the previous cycles. Cycle top is of 2021. This is the cycle top of 2017. This is the cycle top here of 2017 into 2021. Just check it. We have the cycle bottom, cycle bottom, cycle bottom. Then we build level 2, level 3, level 2, level 3. Every time we do the same. If you compare these cycles, you can see where the top has been in the last couple of cycles. So we can see here, yes, there was a huge increase, but the top was over there. November, 25th of November. Here, the top was over there, also November. So we have both tops here, November-ish of the year. We are now there. We are in August. September, October, November. We have 3 more months, and then we will be somewhere here in this top area, where the last 2 cycles created the top. That's where we will create a top again, in my opinion, before we go into a bear market and create a new cycle bottom, guys. That were all the charts for today. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did enjoy these charts, then give them already a thumbs up. Bam. Use my special link down below here to sign up to Bybit and claim your amazing bonus up to 30,000 US dollar. You will receive $30 for just signing up. Use my link down below and click it now. I hope you really enjoyed those charts. Yes, short term, there is a lot of volatility that is amazing for all the tradings, but also for all the trading algorithms. We have our own trading algorithm that we've been trading with for the last couple of years. It's making around 3.5% a month, you know, which is almost 45% a year. We have all the data. It's not like fake data from backtracking and back this and back checking. No. We have real raw data that I've been sharing with the community already for years. Each and every month we can see the progress of my account, starting with 1 Bitcoin, ending up now at 1.52 Bitcoins after 1.5 years. That's an amazing result, guys. We also have a spot trading algorithm. In the last year, for example, we made 70% in 12 months, 70% on the spot trading, and we made around 45% on our inverse perpetual trading. If you want to use those algorithms, check the links down below. Trade with Sequence/TBF. If you don't use the /TBF, you can also sign up, but you won't get the discount. Now, long term, guys, my view on the Bitcoin bull market is still the same. For me, it's still a 4-year cycle. Until I see different signs into the charts, then I will stop calling it a 4-year cycle. But for now, for me, this cycle is going to stop in the next 2 to 3 months. October, maybe even November. I think we have already seen the top by then. So which also means we should be dollar cost averaging out every time when Bitcoin increases. I am talking about our trading portfolio. There is a huge difference between my hodl portfolio that I hold for a very long time. That's what you hold as your pension fund. That's where you store all your capital. That's hodl. But that other 30%, for example, what I'm trading with, that I want to try to multiply by trading, that one, you need to take profits and you need to buy back lower. And you need to sell again around the top and you buy back around the bottom. Or you exit fully and you just start to trade leverage, but that's a high risk game. That's not a way for everyone. And for those that don't understand how to do that, then I prefer to tell you go and use my bot, because that's trading 24/7 when you're eating, when you're dancing, when you're sporting, when you're serving, when you're doing jiggy jiggy with your wife, whatever you're doing, that bot is trading for you and making 3.5% a month. That's a huge, huge, huge percentage of profits each and every month, guys. Now, that were the charts. Long term, 160K, still my bull market top target. The moment I can see that we're coming near the bull market top and we are already around 140K, I can adjust to 180, maybe to 220. That's like the ultimate top for me before we crash down. But like the last time, we all thought 100K and we only came to 70K. This time I'm saying 160, we could also only go to 140 or 150. I would still be happy because I had dollar cost average out. But if you want to know more about that, go to didibambam.me and you will be educated on that. Let's jump into the last part of the video. And because we always talk about Bitcoin, which is mathematics, I have a quote for today that has to do with a mathematics formula. The mathematic formula for happiness is reality divided by expectations. Simple as that. Everything in life, what you do daily, divide reality by your expectations. And if your expectations are really high, then the reality maybe is not as high as your expectations and you will feel sad. If your expectations are really low, then the reality that you're living is making you really happy because you didn't expect too much and you're having a lot of fun. So yeah, you feel happy. If the expectations are equal to the reality, you're like, oh, it's okay, moi, moi, moi. And that's why it's a very powerful quote. Happiness, mathematical quotation, is very simple. It is reality divided by your expectation. That is also for Bitcoin, guys. If your expectation is that Bitcoin goes to 500K and Bitcoin only ends up at 160K, you will feel very unhappy. You will even feel sad. If your expectation is that Bitcoin goes to 120K and it ends up at 150K, you will feel very happy because you didn't expect too much and it went higher. If it ends equal, you expect 150, it ends at 150, you're still like mwah, mwah, mwah. Everything in life is depending on that quotation. So for me, it's very simple. You can't adjust reality very quickly. That's very difficult. It's almost impossible to adjust reality really quickly. Your expectations, though, you can adjust them very simple. You can adjust them now, bam. My expectations for today are bam, back to zero. Whatever happens today, makes me very happy. That is the secret, in my opinion, about happiness. And the moment you start to be grateful for all those little things, your expectations will drop slowly because you're happy and you're grateful for all the little things. And when that combination drops to a lower level, the reality will become a beautiful reality that makes you way more happy. Simple as that. That was the quote for today. I hope you really enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy the video, give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. What do you think about the news? What do you think about the charts? And what do you think about that mathematical quotation, reality divided by expectations? Thank you for watching. I wish you an amazing Wednesday and hopefully see you on Friday again for the next video. Bam.